Hey everyone, it's Mike from Wichita. I'm just here in my little health and fitness thought room. Got my chairs, everything like that. It's not a real room, but thanks to the uh, technology of YouTube, I can create a little thought room. And who knows, maybe one day I'll have an actual thought room and maybe an actual gym. I don't know. But anyway, I've got some thoughts here, having restarted my health, fitness, weight loss journey number of times now over the years. I've kind of started to recognize some patterns, I guess you could say is what it is, or phases might be a little better description for it. And I'm currently in the first kind of phase. And the easiest way for me to describe that phase is what I call the chop, or, it's easy described as turbulence, the chop, CHOP. And what I mean by that is when you first start out, trying to get back in shape or weight loss or whatever it may be, everything's kind of really choppy. It just kind of goes up and down. You get on the scale one day, it's up. You get on the scale the next day, it's down. It kind of goes up and down. Your water intake, up, down. You may not even drink some water the next day. Next day, you may do really good. You may take a 10-minute walk one day, and the next day, that walk may just be to the couch to watch TV for the rest of the night. Or in my case, a tub of ice cream one night and then chicken and broccoli the next night. There's just not a lot of consistency yet, and you're just kind of really up and down. My real problem during this phase, sometimes it hasn't happened yet, but it's the fried chicken from Pizza Ranch, which is kind of wild that a place called Pizza Ranch would have, just outstanding fried chicken, some of the best I've ever had. But they do. Might be better than their pizza, but that's a whole nother issue that we can talk about sometime down the road. But essentially, this phase, this choppiness, it's just kind of like a plane taking off, off a runway into bad weather. If you've ever been in that situation before, and I know some people like actually look forward to it, it's kind of a thrill, and other people are clutching the pearls, as they say. But, when you take off and it's kind of choppy, and you're kind of bouncing around and you're like, man, is this going to get up out of this clearness or whatever? And then eventually the plane finally does, and it kind of gets to that clear air, and it's a little bit more Sue selling. And I've kind of seen this a lot too, with folks that have gone to the gym or told me they're going to get, reinvested in fitness, and, they'll have a good 1 or 2 week run on it. But then after that, it kind of already drops off and they've kind of quit. And that's what I mean. It's just that choppiness. It's just really hard to kind of see and kind of get, on a steady line. Hopefully, with weight loss, it's a downward trend. What I've come to realize from the chop over the years is that it's not easy. It's not easy again. You got to restart yourself. You got to rethink where you're thinking. But you just got to dig in and you got to think about why you're doing this. You know, you got to realize also that 100 days or 200 days or whatever it may be in the future, those days are going to come, and it's going to be up to you if you're going to, be the same person 100, 200 days from now, or if you start now, 100, 200, 300 days, whatever it may be, you'll be in a better place, or at least, mentally, physically, you should be in a better place. But it's got to be up to you. And you got to realize that the chop is just part of the process. And you may have to tweak it. You may have to adjust it. It's going to take some time. And speaking of time, it's kind of hard to tell exactly how long the chop is going to last. A lot of people, are kind of under that mindset that, habit forms in 21 days. I'm sure everybody's seen that. But the thing is like, I have been to the gym for 21 days in a row, not necessarily this time, but in the past, and a habit didn't form. And I was kind of curious on this. I actually looked it up to see kind of what the latest habit research was. And it turns out a habit is more like 66 days to kind of really get, established. And I think that's true because if I look back on it, yeah, usually around the 60, 70 day mark, as far as me back in the gym, working out, concentrating on my fitness, wellness, everything like that, then yeah, I can keep going. But this initial couple weeks, you just don't know how long it's going to last. And that's the hard part for it. So just concluding my thoughts on the chop process, the chop phase, you just can't stop. You just got to work through it, tweak it, whatever you got to do. And you got to give it some time. You got to give it time. As I always say, I didn't get here in 21 days as far as my health and fitness is concerned. And I ain't leaving in 21 days from this health and fitness zone, which that's kind of where I am. I'm around the 20 some day mark right now. And the reality is setting in that, yes, it's going to be a long road. And I feel like I'm starting to kind of get out of this chop turbulence phase and starting to kind of get a little more set into a routine, of the fitness, the schedule, the fitness time to go, the meals, everything like that, the weight starting a downward process. So, give it some time, just work through it, but definitely don't quit. And that's all the thoughts I got. Have a great health and fitness day. And we'll continue to get after it today and tomorrow. Appreciate you listening.